everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa Chiu. I've taught piano lessons since 2013 and have been playing the piano for close to 20 years. When I was teaching, one of the most common scenarios I'd see during lessons was seeing students having little to no progress in their playing from the past week. Like most piano teachers, I'd start off by asking them, "Did you not practice this week?" Some of them would be guilty as charged, but there would be a small handful of students who would be genuinely upset because they are putting the time to practice but somehow they're just not seeing the results. When this happens constantly, it can be pretty discouraging. Some of them were even convinced that they were not made for this, that they would just have no talent for playing the piano and they should quit. So why are these hardworking students not getting the results they deserve if they've been putting in the time and effort to practice regularly? It's certainly not about musical talent or the lack thereof. In fact, the real reason lies in what they actively do during their practice. The big misconception around piano practice is that if you repeatedly play through your piece for a fixed amount of hours every day, your playing would magically improve. This may be true if you're just starting out and your pieces are simple. But if you have been learning for some time, you will need more than just repetition practice to see progress. You would have to identify your biggest problem areas and address them with the appropriate learning strategies. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 steps you need to be taking right now that will help you go from having little progress in your piano practice to progressing in leaps and bounds. The first thing you need to do is to set your goals and aims. It's important to visualize how far you want to be in your practice or how well you want to be playing a piece by the end of a session. Setting a specific goal helps give you a direction on how to plan your practice towards that goal instead of just plunking through your pieces aimlessly. Having something to work towards is also a great motivator to get things done. Now, these goals doesn't have to be big or ambitious. In fact, setting small mini goals may help you achieve more out of your practice over time because you are breaking down your big goals and working on them step by step. You're not forcing yourself to reach that one big goal over a short period of time and risk getting stuck over and over again. Progress takes time, and remember, a little progress each day adds up to big results. So before you start your practice session, I want you to take some time to think about what you want to achieve by the end of it. It can be overcoming a difficult bar of a piece, being able to play the C major scale without pauses, or being able to play something at a certain tempo. Whatever your goals are, make sure you write them down, and let's move on to the next step. Now that you have your goals in place, the next thing to do is to decide on the strategies to help you reach your goals. Think of the small action steps you can take to bring you closer to your goals and put them into your practice routine. For example, if your goal is to overcome a certain difficult bar of a piece, a good first strategy is to focus on that bar alone without playing anything else. Significantly slow down your tempo as you play the notes in the bar, practice hands separately, and make sure you can play each part smoothly before practicing hands together. All these while maintaining a slow tempo. Once you're comfortable with playing hands together, play the bar over a couple of times and gradually increase the tempo until you're up to speed. So what I've done is to come up with action steps that will eventually help me reach my goal of overcoming a difficult bar of a piece. Now, different goals may require different strategies, and different strategies may work for different people. So I encourage you to explore and experiment with the different methods and find the ones that will work best for your goals. By now, you would already have a solid practice plan. To make it stick, you will need to allocate a time of the day when you're the most productive for your piano practice. By setting aside a designated time for practice, you're telling yourself it is important enough that you're prioritizing your time for it. It's also a good way to hold yourself accountable for what needs to be done and prevent procrastination. If you work best in the mornings, dedicate some time for practice right before you head to work. Whether your ideal time is in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, I want you to block a specific time of the day just to focus on piano practice and stick to it. Mark it down on a calendar and set reminders for it if you need to. Many of my students believe that an effective piano practice session means sitting at a piano for hours working on the same piece. That's not always true. No matter how enthusiastic we are about practice, the truth is, as humans, we all have a limited attention span. We're talking about the amount of time spent concentrating on a task before becoming distracted. In order to make the most out of the practice session, we want to make sure that we're working within the duration of our attention span. Did you know that the average attention span of an adult is only 20 minutes? While this may be different for everyone, it would make sense that we do not spend more than half an hour on each practice session. Spending 20 to 30 minutes to actively work on the problem areas is going to be so much more productive than sitting at a piano for 3 to 4 hours but constantly getting distracted or sidetracked playing other pieces instead of working on a piece that you should be working on. Now you're just done with a productive practice session and you're feeling great and satisfied for achieving the goals you set for yourself. You feel the sense of achievement for successfully playing something that you couldn't use to play, and you can't help playing it over and over. You're feeling reluctant to move on to something new and having to go through the goal-setting process all over again. In fact, I'm able to relate to this one because I'm guilty of it as well. It can be so easy to fall back into your comfort zone if you're not constantly reminding and pushing yourself to move forward. That's why it's so important to make a conscious effort to move on to your next goal after you have achieved the current one. Write down your next goal the moment you checked off your current goal and start thinking about the strategies that will help you reach a new milestone. This way, you won't be giving yourself free time in between goals that will allow you to fall back into your comfort zone. Here's a bonus tip for you. With all the progress you're making, it will be useful for you to keep an achievement journal to record down all your amazing achievements so that you can look back at the timeline from time to time and to make sure you're still going on the right track. In case you're having a less than satisfactory practice session, your achievement journal can also be a handy positive reminder of how much you can actually achieve. And there you have it, the 5 steps you need to take in order to progress in your piano practice. Try them out in your own practice session, and I'd love to hear how it has worked out for you in the comments below.